Hello, just wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of this form because it is kind of big and long and intimidating. I'll scroll through it all right now just so you can see it is a long one. I'll give you a section by section breakdown and some tips and advice. But the first thing I want to point out, part of the reason I'm scrolling all the way here to the bottom, is at any point you could hit the save and continue for later. It will pop. I'll just do it right now just so you can see what that looks like. What it will do is it will pop up with a dynamic link that you'll be able to save and come back to at any point in time until you submit the post. Excuse me, until you submit this form. And if you want to get emailed a copy of the link as well, just type in your email address here and hit send link, and then it will email you this link as well. But since I'm just going to pick this up and continue, I'm just going to click this right here. And you can hit save and continue as many times. That link won't change. That link is uniquely identified and shared with the entry that you're creating. So it creates a temporary entry in the back end of our site, and then you're just updating that entry until you hit submit, and then it does that final confirmation. I haven't tested it to see if you could edit it after you've submitted it, but somebody could be our guinea pig and let me know. Anyhow, I'm going to embed this video probably at the top of this page right before this general contact and agency info section. So if you don't see this video here, that's the reason why I'm recording it first. Excuse me. So this first section is general contact and agency info. This is just basic information we need about your agency for the website. I have it listed as primary agency address and things like that because some of our customers have multiple multiple locations, or multiple. They want to have places in multiple states or whatever where their different agents or producers are, even if they're fully virtual. This is the primary agency phone number. This is also your primary agency email address. So it can be a person's individual email address if you are just like a small 1 or 2 person agency. But typically most of our customers have an email address that's like a general info box, or like quotes at or contact at or something like that. So for this one, we're looking more for like the general box, email box if you have one. Next is the website you want for your agency site. If you don't own it yet, put it in here and then let us know that you'd potentially like us to purchase it on your behalf. If you do already own the domain, put it in here and then let us know who the domain registrar is. At some point in one of our future calls, we'll ask for the login and password, or manager access, or those kinds of things to help you do it. Or we could provide you with solutions so you could point at the domain correctly itself. Your primary locations: Google My Business link, your location, Google Maps link, your Google reviews. I should say this now. I should have said it earlier. All of these fields are not listed as required, so please provide us with as much info as possible. If you don't have these things, or you just don't want to go hunt them all down, just let us know, and we'll either go find them and get them in here, or we can deal with it later on the future weeks when this kind of stuff is more important. If you have additional locations, this is where you can put them in. So for any of these fields where you could put additional things in, there'll be this plus and minus button over here on the side. What's it called? So if you need to add more rows, just continue hitting pluses. If you need to remove some, hit minuses, and they'll get rid of all of that. So please put the location name. So sometimes people call it either the city or location 2, or home office or headquarters, or whatever you want to call the location. Or just like put a number for basic stuff. We don't have to show a location name. But again, this is just helpful if you do decide that you want to have, different names. Or like as an example, if your if your office is actually in Granite Bay, but you want to call it your Sacramento office, just because it's the suburb right outside, this is also the place to kind of do that kind of stuff. Most of this is straightforward. Agency breakdown. So this is just to, again, help make sure that we have a better understanding of your agency as a whole. Please put just a percentage of whatever business type you have of each of these, just the number for the percent. If you don't have any of them, you could put 0 or leave it blank. And it could be however you want to do it. So whether it's by policy count, whether it's by premium, whether it's by how much time or effort is spent in these different areas, we just want to get an idea of how your agency ranks those different kinds of things and what you work on. Total employees. I think the rest of that's pretty straightforward. Goals and pain points. So these are helpful for us to understand what's it called? Where you're going, where your mindset's at, what we could do to, be the best possible partner for you to hit these goals. So, please be honest and share and let us know all this stuff. If you don't have particularly great answers for any of these, just leave them blank and we'll cover this stuff on the call. But again, all this stuff to know is super duper helpful for us just to get a better understanding of your agency and your, agency mindset. So budgets, this one over here. So this is the first section that sort of has dynamic answers. So if you check like in this section, direct mailers, this section down here will pop up with direct mailers. Here, this is your average monthly marketing spend across all, things. These are some examples of like different things you could be spending money on. And then when you check these off, it just has those follow-up questions. Feel free to not answer if you don't feel comfortable or don't want to, or just don't have a good idea on it. And then down here, we're always curious as to know if you had $1 million to spend on marketing, how would you spend it today? Because that gives us a lot of more insight, again, to where your mindset is at with your marketing for your agency. Over here is like day-to-day operational stuff. Again, like if, you spend so much time doing sales and marketing, we'll try and figure out ways to help you automate stuff. If you spend a lot more of your time doing servicing and support, we could figure out ways to help automate those processes and stuff like that for you. It also might be worth exploring an intranet site. Operations is more of just like stuff for the agency, whether it's taxes or payroll or, whatever. That like sales and marketing is client-facing kind of work. Service and support is client kind of work. Operations is, more the agency running itself. And then training and researching, this is more for like, onboarding new employees, doing employee development, like all that kind of stuff. Wow, we want to know the easiest thing that you do every day and the hardest thing that you do every day. Again, we want to be your long-term partner in this business, or in your marketing efforts too. And so whatever we can do to help move the needle the most for you, that's what we're going to be trying to work on. I think this is the first section. I may have skipped one earlier. That is a rich text field. So the neat thing with these fields, opposed to like these ones, you could just type in paragraph text or sentences, things like that. This is just like one of these fields, but a little more powerful in that. And predominantly the reason I put it in like this is you could put in bulleted lists. So like if you have other things that you want to put in, like you could, and then you could nest stuff with tabs to have different ideas. You could do a numbered list over here. If you're not seeing this lower row right over here, this button lets you turn this bar on and off, which gives you options for like adding a horizontal line as a separator. So like as an idea, this is an idea, and then you want to separate it to the next thought. You could put one of these in, and then you could put another idea, and then you could separate that if you want to, or again, however you'd like. This you could add in text colors and other things. Not super duper important. You could put in links and things like that here. I'm not even sure what code light short code is. And if you want to make this whole section full screen, just so that way you can focus on just this, you could click that button to do that. This is your undo and redo buttons. So just like Command Z and Command Y if you're on a Mac, or Control Z and Control Y if you're on a PC. The other neat thing with a bunch of these fields, any of these paragraph fields, whether they're rich text or not, in the bottom right corner, if you need this field to be bigger, you could, change the size of these fields if need be. So if things are too small, or you're writing, a short novel and you need the field to be bigger, feel free to expand it to any size that you'd like. Target market. So this is to make sure that we're targeting the right people and targets, like geographic targets or keyword targets. So this is where we collect all that kind of information. This is the social section. So this one's pretty straightforward. Again, feel free to leave anything blank and we'll cover it on the call. Main navigation. So this is like the top part of a website. So just picking on this website as an example, this Awesurance bar right up top here with portfolio services and about, that's the top navigation that we're sort of referring to. So let's scroll down here and look at some of these questions. So a lot of this right now here is naming conventions. So for the insurance parent section, because lots of stuff will be nested inside, and those are technically children pages. So just so you understand the naming convention here, why it's called the insurance parent section. Some people like it called insurance. Some people like it called products or coverages, services, etc. So think about this, whatever you'd like. The servicing section. So what's it called? This is where existing customers go to get service and find out information. So people call it our carriers, client services, service, support, existing clients, current clients, all this kind of stuff. The resources section. So on all of these sections will have their own section down below, but it's just referred to by this area. So like in the section down below, it'll be called the resources section or resources page or something like that. But basically anything that doesn't belong in those other sections live in this. So some people call it the resource, library, info, vault. This is where you'd have things like your frequently asked questions, your glossary. Sometimes people put their blog posts here. Like if you have white papers or case studies, that would be here. If you have like a video library, again, all that stuff is listed down below with those ability to turn those pages on or off. But what's it called? This is just what you'd like to call this section. The about section. So this is more about the company as a whole. So people call it about us, our team, our company, stuff like that. What you'd want that to be called. Next is the main call to action. So we usually have some sort of call to action in the top navigation. So sometimes it's, just quote or get a quote, start quotes, free quotes, whatever primary action you want people to do, chat with us, those kinds of things. Next, this one is a drop down. So would you like your main navigation to include icons? And so for context for that, again, a portfolio, services, about, those are main navigation buttons. If you'd want like an icon above, to the left, or below as an example for portfolio, this is what we're talking about. So some people want to have visual icons for those. Some people don't. Let's go down back here to main navigation. A top / secondary header. So these are headers. What's it called? And then this is also a selection like, yes, I want a top header. No, I just want the primary navigation menu. Most of these sections, these are just note-taking fields. So if there's anything that we didn't specifically cover or you want us to know, please put whatever you'd like in these notes, and in the appropriate section. Or even if it's not in the appropriate section, we'll figure it out once we have a chance to read and parse through all of these answers. But what's it called? A secondary / top header section is usually a navigation row that's above the primary content row. And then there's some choices that go along with that. So here, if you choose yes, you'll see sometimes people put their main phone number as a click to call, or you could have a main phone number that's click to text. Or if you want to share your main address, contact us, call to action, social media links, etc. If there's something in here that we didn't cover, this is, main navigation notes section is a great place to let us know. What's called agency pages. So these are pages that have to do with your agency as a whole, for that sort of about page area that we had from above. It says resources. I need to change this text. This text is wrong. No, I'm sorry. I'm reading this now. I jumped the gun. So you may notice that some of the links here on the agency pages are the same as the resources pages. Some of our clients prefer these pages to be nested under the About parent section. Other people prefer them to be under the Resources parent section, but you can check them in both sections. But just to be aware, there will only be one page that's on your website, and then both sections, if you have the navigation in both, will link to the same page. So as an example, if you have blog in your agency section or under the About section, as well as you have blog in the Resources section, there's still going to only be one blog on your website. Just both of those places will let a visitor to your site visit that same page. So you can see all the pages over here. Next are the insurance pages. So here, if you just do like personal and commercial, just check these boxes, and then all the appropriate follow-up questions will be asked. If you just do life or health, as an example, this is where you check those, and all the appropriate questions will be asked. So whichever types of insurance you want to be listed underneath your insurance pages, you put them here. For each of these sections, like if I pick personal lines, so these are all the pages that we currently have content built out for our agency sites. And you can modify the content on the pages at any point in time too, so you don't have to use our stock content. But we'll pre-populate the site with all of our stock content unless you tell us otherwise. But if there's a personal line, I jumped ahead by accident by hitting spacebar. If we forgot something on here, or you have a specialty, or there's more that you want to add for this other personal lines, this is where you do it. And again, this is a list field, so just add as many fields over here as you'd like. We have the exact same thing for all other lines of business. And then again, this personal insurance pages and miscellaneous notes, just let us know what you'd like there. Next is the servicing section. So the first question is, do you have like an online servicing portal like CSR 24? If the answer is yes, what is it? Then just let us know, what your self-service portal is, so that way we can make sure we link to it and refer to it appropriately throughout the site. The agency management system, that's just for us to better understand how we could, again, best partner with your the back of your office. These are a bunch of different sections that we can include on the servicing page. The carrier list. So if you'd like us to list out all of the carriers that you work with, or just your primary ones or whatever, this is a great place to just let us know, so that way we can make sure we have all of those carriers on here. And then this down over here is the information that you'd want us to display on your website for each carrier. I know some of these carriers might not have these options, like as an example, the roadside assistance thing. But if they do have it and you want that shown, then we'll show it on the site. But if that's information they don't have to offer, that would be left off your site on a per carrier basis. And then, more notes. Resources, these are, different pages that people would want to have in the resources section. Call to action questions. So over here, so if you have a specific phrase that you always use, so it's like, don't delay, call XYZ agency today or something, let us know what it is, and we'll make sure to include it on the site, because we got to hammer stuff home if you're using stuff for your brand repeatedly. This is other follow-up stuff. Let's see. Down over here, so website features and functionality. So any of these things we could add onto your website while we're building it out for no additional charge. Same thing for even after the site's launched. So if you decide to launch your site without the ADA compliance add-on, as an example, but something comes up 6 months, a year, 2 years later, and you want us to turn it on, just let us know, and we can get that going for you. Next are the future roadmap features. So a bunch of these are things that we would love to have and are in sort of our longer term roadmap. If you'd like to either be a guinea pig or a beta user for any of these, or if you just want to know when we have these services to offer, check this off. If you are interested in being a beta user or guinea pig as we build these out, let us know down over here, and you'll be one of the first we contact to get your ongoing feedback as we flesh those different features out. Next is brand and style. So this is all the stuff on your website, like visually, that we would like to know. So websites you like, websites you hate. Over here you can add as many of these as you'd like or remove. You don't have to fill out this section, but the more you can, the better it informs us and our designers what it is you're looking for. Here is where you can upload any files that you might have for your brand. So logos, brand guides, anything, lots of alternates. If there's a specific font you use, this is where you can give us that font file, etc. So here, this is where you tell us what font you'd like us to use on your site. Over here is what colors to use on your site. If you don't know or you don't particularly care, just let us know, and we'll use our best judgment, and we could always modify it as the site goes on. Over here, this is your option for how you'd want your main logo laid out. So going back up to the top here, ours is aligned left, but you could want your logo aligned centered, or you could even have it aligned right. Just let us know what your preference is there, so we can build it out the first time. As we're building out your site, if you'd like that to change, just let us know and we'll modify it appropriately. Page header background preference. So we do have some options here. We describe it in depth in the description, but we like to do video backgrounds everywhere that then fall back to images for mobile users. If that's not how you want your user experience to go, this is where you could tell us. So if you only want video backgrounds on the home page, or you just want static images or static colors instead, please let us know in that drop down. This is website footer preferences, so lots of different choices here. And then when you're all done, either for the time being or permanently, either hit submit or save and continue. And then it'll then send us the information once you hit submit. Or if you need to continue working on this before our call starts, please hit save and continue later. Last bit there, if you've been doing the save and continue later before our call starts, and then we hop on the call, we're probably going to ask you to submit it so we can then review it and look at it. Ideally, you'd give us at least 24 hours to review before our first discovery call is scheduled, so we could like understand all of your concepts and then move forward with them, and prepare best with smart follow-up questions. But worst case scenario, on the call itself, we'll take a look at all of your answers and then fill in any blanks or gaps that we might have. But thank you so much for watching this 20-minute primer on how to fill out the site, this form. You'll see it probably will take you a long time, and did need this 20-minute primer, but what's it called? We thank you so much for your business, and we're excited to get started on your project. And this will give us the best and longest jumping off point that we'll need moving on from here. So hopefully moving forward, this will be the most painful part of the process of working with us for a new agency site. So again, thank you so very much, and we look forward to talking with you soon. Take care and have a great day.